Martin, what's your take on this? Jeanette Findlay, who is said to be treasurer of the Celtic Trust, as I understand it, has links with the Green Brigade. Whether that's true or not is another matter. And she is quoted this morning, "I really don't have any interest in discussing Mr. Rodgers." We've asked Jeanette Findlay to join us, but I think, as I understand it, she's declined. She says, "I really don't have any interest in discussing Mr. Rodgers. He has now been appointed manager in a process which is run by the current custodians of our club. He is now an employee. And all I hope is that he does his job well for whatever period he is with us and before he moves on." Yeah. So there's a kind of feeling of, here's another period that someone's coming in and using the club as a stepping stone there. I don't know if you read that into it.
And well, she may well think that, but I don't think that will be the case this time round. I absolutely don't. I think that Brendan was successful there in the first place. As Simon pointed out, he doesn't really have anything to apologise for, because he was the one that wanted to leave. Therefore, what are you saying? If that's the case, that's not necessarily how the Celtic fans see it. But again, it's getting back to the point. No, I think he's here to try and relive those great days that he had at the football club, to try and improve results in European football. And I think if those things go well, I think he'll be there for a fairly lengthy period of time.
But say he does another treble, Martin, and knowing Brendan that he's well capable of that, and say Celtic go deep in Europe, maybe not win something, but go deep in Europe, Premier League interest will happen all over again.
Well, that's just a natural consequence, and those things will happen, and then we'll see how you deal with it.
He might be tempted again.
Well, I've got no real bother about looking that far into the future. As far as Celtic fans are concerned, Brendan's now the manager of the football club. He's there, and he's there for the long haul.
How straightforward or otherwise is it for Ange Postecoglou, Martin, do you think, to convert the success he joined at Celtic into success down here with Tottenham? Because that's why Daniel Levy's got him to Tottenham. And we need you to be successful here. Win us something.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, what you're doing is that you're not taking your team down to Tottenham Hotspur. You're taking yourself down there. You've got to have your own self-belief. And Ange has done really, really well at Celtic. He's got a team up and running. And against some odds, I must admit, because he wasn't that well known. He didn't get off to the best start. He was signing players that nobody knew really about. And all of those things have come to be successful. Yeah. So that's terrific. True. So now what he's doing, he's taking himself down there. He's taking his personality. He's taking his own self-belief or self-confidence, all of those things. And if I can draw some sort of parallel with myself, I left, when I left Celtic, I had a year out of the game. I came to Aston Villa. But whether I had this inner confidence, who knows? But at least I exuded some sort of form of confidence anyway. Listen, I've taken Celtic to the UEFA Cup final.
Of course.
I know. And Aston Villa have been struggling the last number of years. Yeah. And to me, I thought this is almost like a no-lose situation. I can go in here. I can resurrect this side. I can get them going. And if the new owner, Randy Lerner, is going to give me a little bit of backing, so I can have this team in the top six and hopefully try and get into Champions League football at some stage. That was the reason I went down to the football club.
But now is the gap not more difficult to bridge between being in the north and coming south?
No, the gap. No, the gap
for Ange. I'm thinking.
No, the gap in standard of football is big. It's really big. It's bigger. My team at Celtic, the team I had in 2003, could have easily have taken their place in the Premier League without a question.
With Larson and people.
Absolutely. But now the difference between the standard is immense. It's really.
And Postecoglou's going to find that out.
But he's going to find that out. But again, it's getting back to the point. He will be dealing with some quality players at the football club. Players that he's got Harry Kane. Maybe he might have a situation to deal with there, but it doesn't really matter. He's going in with a decent quality of player. Tottenham have done so badly that you think to yourself, this is a no-lose situation for me. You talk about the last couple of managers who didn't do all that well, and you think to yourself, well, if they don't do well, why should Ange do well? That'll not enter his head.
Yeah.
Not enter his head. It doesn't matter. Conte left for... Conte had I think, personally speaking, I just think there's a laziness in Conte's view of things. You know, that's my point. I feel as if they say, listen, you come out after a Southampton game and blame the players. Listen, you know. Well, I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded having an argument and saying, you know what? If you give me the best players in the world, I think I might win a few games. You know, it does happen. You know, my granddaughter would win a couple of matches if you give her the best players. So listen, those are the sort of things. So there's a laziness there. The one thing that Postecoglou doesn't have, he doesn't have laziness on his side. He doesn't. He's there to drive the side on. He's got away with it. You know, he's got a. If you listen to some of the Celtic players talking about him in the dressing room, things like this here, and his whole methods. He'll have belief in himself that he can do this. It's a difficult task. There's no question about it.
You're nodding to everything Mark
I
saying.
think he's right, absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think also there was a different dynamic in this. As much as I advocated for Conte going into Tottenham Hotspur, it was Conte that actually wanted to be at Tottenham Hotspur that I was advocating for. What you've got in Mourinho and Conte were two managers that were coming down with the balance wrong. The balance was wrong. They were doing Tottenham Hotspur a favour. This guy is coming in, and I think there is an equitability about it.
Yeah.
Tottenham want him to do a job, and he wants to be at Tottenham. And this group of players are underperforming. He will get them performing at a much better level than they've been performing over the last 18 months. And we'll see where that takes them. I think it will take them a couple of places up the league. And then he's going to have to push on Levy. Yeah. Then we're going to see the Levy dynamic come into play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he'll be all right there.
Yeah.
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. I really want him to be, because honestly, he's a good man. You know, we're all good men until we lose a few games, but he is. There's something about him, and he's got a wee bit of something.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops.
Yeah, it'd be nice. He will need some help. There's no question about that. He'll need some help, because some of those Tottenham players are not good enough to play for Tottenham Hotspur. That's the point. But you know, he'll.
You're on form this morning, Mr. O'Neill.